Let's continue about the class content. We have done a very simple example on repetition. And we know how the repetition works. The last time we finished until the example guess number. So we can guess a number. Okay, so we can guess a number, and the number should be in the loop, because I want to get the correct result. Okay. If you are just using if you still remember this one, in this example we have only if, so we will only guess one time. After we guess one time, enter your guess, maybe 50. After you guess 50, then finish. But I want to guess until I find the number. So I can guess 50. Okay, now it shows another prompt. Your guess is too low. Okay, then I need to increase the number, maybe 75. Okay, your guess is too low. Then it will be repeated again. Maybe I can give 90. Okay, your guess is too high. So it will keep guessing like this one. Maybe 78. Your guess is too high. Okay, 77. Oh, your guess is too high. So 76. Okay, then the number is 76. It will be repeated until your number is correct. So you can see that the if is now inside the while. Okay. When we have this kind of loop, we need to pay attention about the floating point values. Do you know what is floating point? Floating point, we call it real number. So any data with double or float, we call it real number. The real number is very sensitive with decimals. So when you are going to do the equality checking, so for example, item has been assigned as a double. So I want to check if item not equal to 0. So there is no guarantee item will be 0. It is because of the floating point values are approximation for some values, and using them could result in imprecise counter values and inaccurate result. So let's see. I will give you this example. Let me make it. Example 2. Okay. Yeah, if you do not click the main method, you need to type by yourself. Okay. So please do not forget that every time you want to create a new class, please click the main method. So I would like to copy and paste this one. I have this problem. So can you guess what will be the result? Item equal to 1. Sum equal to 0. In this case, double is item is a double, sum is a double, and it starts with 1 for item, and then it starts with 0 for sum. We need to check item is not equal to 0. Okay, then sum plus equal item. So the sum value will be added every time we have the item value. Maybe we can say sum equals to sum plus item. What about this one? Item minus equal to 0 minus 0.1. It will be item equals to item minus 0.1. Okay. When item is equals to 1, we need to check. Item not equal to 0? Yes, it is true. If it is true, then we will enter this one. Sum plus equal item. So the summation first will be 1. 0 plus 1, it will be 1. And what about item? Now item will be minus with 0.1. 1 minus 0.1. It will be 0.9. Okay. Now it will go back to this section. It will check again. Item does not equal to 0. Yes, because it is 0.9. Then sum will be added by item. What is item? Item now is 0.9. So 1 plus 0.9. It will be 1.9. What about item? Item minus 0.1. Now item becomes 0.8. It will be loop until we can reach 0. Okay. Now the problem. Can we run this program? If we minus 0.1, minus 0.1, minus 0.1, is it possible to achieve 0? So if I run, then oh, whatever. Oh, sorry, I need to put the static. So if you see, now there is no solution. Why? There is something wrong with this loop. I need to stop or I need to terminate. So there's a button terminate here to stop if you have some errors. So I will show you. The item for every time we do this loop. What you can see now is it keeps decreasing and it never stops. Why? So that's what we want to learn from this section. Variable item starts with 1 and is reduced by 0.1 every time the loop body is executed. And the loop should terminate when item becomes 0. When item becomes 0, it should be terminated. However, there is no guarantee that item will be exactly 0 because the floating point arithmetic is approximated. So the word is one, the floating point arithmetic is approximated. So it is not precisely 0. It is 0.000001. Okay. That's the reason. So it will be an infinite loop. We call it infinite loop because it will be always running and it never stops. So be careful with this infinite loop. So if you want to check, I can show you a little bit. Let me just close this one. You can have item minus equal to 0.1. And then you can see item. Okay, let's see only 4. So you can see that when 1 minus 0.1, it is still exactly 0.9. And then when we minus again 0.1, it is still 0.8. But when we minus again, it becomes approximately 0.7 with 0.00001. So this is the computer. Why this one is, we call it as a float or double. So be careful when you have this kind of statement. Or I can say that do not use floating point values. Now we can learn another things for the loop. We call it do while. In the first section, we have while loop. In the while loop, we have the condition and then we have the statement. But for this one, we have the statement and the condition will be at the end. So the flowchart will be something like this. I will do something and let's check. If the condition is true, then do again. If the condition is true, do again. If the condition is true, do again. If not true, then just leave the repetition. So the idea is the same with while loop. We need to define the variable, or what is the initial variable. Let's say I would like to put count equals to 0 and 2. It will be done for the first time. So we will see the result. Welcome to Java. And then count will be added by 1. And then I will check. Count is less than 10. If the condition is true, then we will go back again. Print welcome to Java. So you can try. So do while count start from 0 with integer value. And then I will print welcome to Java if the condition is true. So we have welcome to Java for 10 times. If you change this into 5, you will get only 5. Okay? It depends on the number, or it depends on the condition that we give. The do while statement, first the loop body is executed. Then the Boolean expression is checked. Do you still remember what is Boolean? Okay. Boolean means a data type where we have only two values, true or false. Okay. And as long as it is true, the loop is executed again. If it is false, then the loop is exited. We will not do any statement in the loop. So when we are doing with the while statement, we will have the initial statement, or first the variable initialization or variable assignment, and then we will do the loop. For the do while, we can have the initial statement, for example, the initial variable, and then we can do the loop, but the condition is at the end. So it's different, but actually both of them can produce the repetition. Now let's see how if we use the do while for the guess number. And for this one, I'm going to use the random values by setting the minimum and the maximum. So let's see in the guess number 2. Here, I'm using a new class. There is a class random. And then I'm creating one, what we call as an object here. So here is the random. I think you already remember about the scanner. Okay. So scanner is the class to make an object, and the object will be used to get the input from user. For the random, we are going to make a random value. So the function is similar with the random function that we learned before using this one, math random. The random value is the same, but in this function, we can define many other numbers. For example, I can define integer. I can define double. So the range of the numbers is, you can define any numbers. If you want to check random, yeah, you can assign doubles. You can assign integers. And you can assign different data type like long. You can define another data type like float. Or you can specify with some kind of statistics value, next Gaussian. So this is more, this is wider than math.random. Now I'm setting the minimum equals to 1, and I'm setting the maximum equals to 100. So I limit the minimum should be 1 and the maximum should be 100. So I'm creating the random value, and I want the random value only integer. So here the maximum minus minimum plus 1 plus minimum. What does it mean? Maximum 100, minus minimum is 1 plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1, it will be 0. So we have the random number will be any integer between the value of 0 until 100. And after we have a random number in between 0 until 100, so please add with the minimum. So the minimum is 1. Maybe I get 56. Yeah, then I will add with 1. Because here the number will start from 0. So 0, if we add with minimum, then at this we will find number 1. Okay, so the minimum 1, it means at least the first number is 1. And then I have another variable user, and I define one variable guesses equals to 0. I'm entering the do while. Now, you can see that the if function is the same. If the number is greater than the random number, yeah, then I can say like my number is less than the computer. If the user number is less than the computer, then my number is greater than. If it is correct, then yeah, you can say just well done. So the idea is the same, but now we are using the do while. And we put the input here. You will get the user input here, and every time we finish the guessing, yeah, we will add by 1. We will add by 1. We will add by 1. In this case, I can like check how many guessings did you do until you find the number. So if you want to print this one, then you will get how many guessings for this program. Guess a number between 1 and 100. Let's say 50. My number is greater than 50. Okay. Then you can have 75. My number is less than 75. Okay, 65. My number is less. Okay, 60. My number is less than 60, 55. Okay, it is still less. Greater than 53, then 54. Okay, my number is 54. And you guess in 7 guesses. So it can be computed how many times that I guess the numbers. Every time I did some mistakes, it will be added by 1. Okay. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 times. So the variable guesses is to compute 7 times.